Today on Identity, we discuss unconventional media methods with entrepreneur Sifiso Ngobese. We indulge in some classical Indian dancing. In our What's Happening segment, we review a happiness app and a feel-good movie. We then wrap up the show with the sounds of Dreamanskap.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Hello and welcome to the show that provides you with your weekly dose of spiritual soul food. This is Identity and I'm your host, Viwe Kwala. The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This month has been set aside to highlight one of the most common cancers that affect South African women. With that said, it's also important to note that breast cancer also affects men. Mzansi, it's important to get information about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer, as well as the treatment options available. Remember, early detection could save a life. I'm wearing my pink ribbon in honor of breast cancer survivors and in remembrance of those we have lost to cancer. For more information on this and other forms of cancer, visit www.cancer.co.za. Now it's time to meet today's coffee shop guest. Today, I'm joined by a young man who holds a bachelor's degree in economics as well as honors degree in econometrics from the University of Johannesburg. After graduating, he landed a job at one of the country's most reputable international investment banks. For most people, this would have been an I've arrived moment. Not for Sifiso Ngobese. 2 years later, this young man quit his job and started a marketing company called Unconventional Media Solutions. Today, the company runs a project that aims to help make waste collection safer for informal recyclers, who are also known as Abumachereza. I can't wait to find out more about his journey. Sifiso, welcome to Identity.
Thank you for having me. Very excited.
Yeah. I really want to get into it. But before we get into the interview, Gabanzi, please tell us ukuthi background yakho injani. uSifiso ukhule kanjani?
Okay, uSifiso ubuya eSoweto. YCT in particular. I was raised by a single parent, Mama Mami, so which was very tough. You know, my mom played a role of being both a father and a mother. So after went to high school. After high school, luckily I was accepted at the University of Johannesburg, where I pursued a qualification in BCom economics. Then subsequent to that, I did my honors in econometrics. But while I was doing that, I was doing a graduate program within Investec Bank, within risk management. I spent 20 months in the graduate program. Then after that, I was employed on a full-time basis within group credit risk.
Okay. Yeah. Njengoba you were speaking about your challenges, I mean, being raised by a single parent, ukhone kanjani ukuthi udonse uNkulunkulu and become spiritually aware of yourself?
My mom, you know, she raised us as young Christian boys. The foundation was there at a very early age. So my mom, every time before Slala, Sifiso song standards, Cameroon. You know, we used to stay in a shack somewhere in Rockville, and I remember quite clearly, no matter go to 8 o'clock. So, and we still do that today, by the way. So the foundation was laid at a very early age. So I've always, you know, been a spiritual person because of my mom.
What role has spirituality played in your life, njengoba somdala?
It has guided me, but my spirituality, my definition is different from the rest. I believe, for instance, the basis of spirituality is me seeing a God in you. It's not necessarily Christianity or Judaism. I believe any religion is the relative truth, not the absolute truth. I think I can learn something from Judaism, from Islam, from Buddhism. So my perspective is very broad in terms of what spirituality is, and I take some principles and some elements and I implement them.
Okay. Sure. What drew you to economics and econometrics?
Love. I did well in economics in high school, and I love the fact that it's a social science. So you're studying human behavior, you're studying how economic agents behave within a particular setting. So I love that about economics, and I fell in love with it. And besides that, it had better career opportunities than other courses that I was choosing between.
Sifiso, I want to find out from you, ngoba yes, you said something interesting with when you know ufundele lento ngoba uyayithanda. But then also uthola umsebenzi, you quit. Why umsebenzi wakho? What is that?
Funny enough, I was in risk management.
Okay.
So I never got to practice economics. Okay. And funny enough, I really wanted to be an academic. I got exposed to the entrepreneurial culture and I fell in love with it. And I always knew that I want to be an entrepreneur, but a different kind of entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur. Sure.
I'm sure your mother was devastated when you quit your job.
Sure. That's all I can say. Yeah. Sure. Like sure, even my dad till today. I think now he understands what I'm doing. But you know, both of my parents are like, we gave you a platform to study. We went all out. They didn't understand, but I think there was something inside of me that led me to do what I want to do. I didn't want to be a statistic and just follow suit and be a typical graduate, you know, work and not feeling content. So I had to do something that will drive me to my true passion.
Sifiso, what is Unconventional Media Solutions and what services do you offer?
Sure. Unconventional Media is an exciting outdoor media company that provides alternative and innovative outdoor media solutions. We offer two exciting products. The first one is interactive mobile billboards, which are mainly used for brand activation. So it's a tricycle where you can plug a signage and you use that tricycle in any heavy sport. And we basically promote any product that is advertised on the tricycle, and we have what we call the brand ambassador. So this is a guy who champions a brand and just gives you pamphlets or any promotional items. So that's one product. And then the second one is Abomakhareza. So Abomakhareza is a township slang that simply translates to recycling hustlers. I'm sure everyone is familiar with the guys who pull trolleys collecting recyclable material. So the biggest challenge that they face on a daily basis is obviously the trolleys that they use. It's got poor visibility, it breaks down easily. So we saw an opportunity within Unconventional Media and said, how about to create a much more safer trolley for the guys that first of all allows them to collect more waste and therefore they can earn a better income. Secondly, the trolley acts as a mobile billboard as well. So companies can advertise their brands and just tell their stories.
But Sifiso, how do you get, you know, the two to correlate? Because you know, these could be, you know, business, part of business, you know. So how do you get buy-in for such an unconventional business model?
Yeah, well, it's a very difficult sell because even companies putting their brands on a trash bin, it's very difficult to convince them to do so. But it's an ongoing battle. And what we're saying is that, you know, the more brands we have, the more trolleys we'll be able to roll out, the more impact we'll be able to have because the guys are involved in fatal accidents because people can't see them. So what we're saying is that we're introducing much more safer trolleys on the road that are much more visible. We also give them the gear, by the way. So we give them protective gear that is visible at night. And also another beautiful aspect of the project is the fact that if we have content that is placed on our trolleys, then the guys get to share in the advertising revenue. So 10% of the advertising revenue gets shared with the guys within Abomakhareza project. So the informal waste pickers within Abomakhareza project.
What are some of the challenges that you've faced with this particular project?
It's mainly companies getting involved, but how we've tackled that is that first of all, we distribute these trolleys with the buyback center and Pick It Up. Pick It Up is our strategic partner. So we place these trolleys at some depots within Johannesburg. So the guy will wake up, go and get the trolley, go for his collection rounds, come back and just drop off the trolley. And once it's done, he sends a report and that's it. Right, so it's another way for us to ensure brand integrity on behalf of our clients and to get a buy-in of our clients. And secondly, we've realized that companies don't know how to use this particular platform. So what we've done is that we've created very slick, very cool messages on our trolleys that companies can buy into. So if a company has a strong CSI initiative that is in relation to recycling, HIV and AIDS, you can create a message for them and say, you know, you can punt what you're doing with with regard to HIV and AIDS and put it on a trolley. Because these guys, there's 43,000 of these guys in the city of Johannesburg. So in terms of brand visibility, there's a huge opportunity for your brand to be exposed.
Sure, that's so inspirational, Sifiso. Okay, speaking about inspiration, namhlanje sidlala a word game, ibizwa the magic if. Please answer as quickly as possible because obviously the operative word is it's a game. So mele sidlale quickly and we must have fun with it. If you were stranded on a deserted island, which 3 people would you like to be stranded with?
Okay, that's very simple. It's my mom and my 2 brothers.
If you could visit any planet, what would it be?
It would probably be planet Mars because apparently men are from Mars.
If you could be a character in a TV show, what genre would it be?
Animation.
Okay. If you had to change your name to a cartoon character's name, what name would you choose?
Casper the Ghost, because sometimes I'm invisible.
Oh, and right now you're going to be invisible.
Sometimes I can just turn invisible.
Thank you so much, Sifiso, for joining us, Labu Identity.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
It is a pleasure.
Yeah, sure.
Sithula umnqwazi kuSifiso ngalo msebenzi omhle awenzayo. Sithemba ukuba ibali lakhe liyakunyenzela ukuba nawe uzibone ungusomashishini. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we take a short left to Sandton in Johannesburg for an Indian cultural explosion. Stay with us.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Enkosi ngokuhlala nathi kwinkqubo yethu ye-identity khonapha ku-SABC 1 Mzansians. Ndinguviwe Gwala. For centuries, music and dance have played an important role in spiritual ceremonies, rituals, and celebrations. And because we live in such a diverse nation, we are blessed with the privilege of being able to share our experiences with you, our valued viewers. Today, we take a look at the graceful Indian dance form known as Bharatanatyam. Take a look.
This is my identity.
The Natya Anjali Dance School, in collaboration with the Shriti Laya Music School, hosted a Bharatanatyam dance concert in Sandton, Johannesburg. Ragas and Rhythms is a showcase of their students' journey into the divine arts, displaying their talents and capabilities.
I began learning the art of Bharatanatyam since the age of 4, and I started the school, Natya Anjali, 17 years ago. I teach mainly Bharatanatyam, that's the basis, that's the foundation of our teaching. Bharatanatyam is mainly about expression, and when we express ourselves in Bharatanatyam, we express it through our costume, through our makeup, through our body movements, and obviously also through our hand gestures. And every piece of jewelry that a dancer wears has a significance. If I could give you an example, the headpiece that you see that they wear, it's called a Thale Samam. And the Thale Samam, the significance behind it is to emphasize the line of the forehead. Then together with that, you use another 2 pieces on your head, Surya Chandran, that is the sun and the moon, and the significance behind that is beauty and grace has descended upon the dancer. Then we move down to the Mangamala. The Mangamala it prevents pulmonary disorders. We wear bangles to protect our wrists. We wear rings to encourage generosity. We wear an Udayanam to keep the spinal cord straight. And we wear bells to give strength to our ankles. The hand gestures, everything has a different meaning, but when we do a piece that is like a padam or a bhajan, that is where we are expressing bhakti or devotion. So our hand gesture there lends something different. This could mean smile, that is a bird, and it moves on. When thinking about putting this production together, I wanted to look at something that would incorporate both music and dance because they're very closely related, they're very closely linked. So that's how the idea of ragas and rhythms were born.
I've chosen to work with the Natya Anjali Dance Academy because I find that the girls enjoy themselves, and you don't really find that a lot in certain things that youngsters do these days. And it's close to our hearts, culture is close to our hearts, Hinduism is close to our hearts, and you can really see that the girls express their feelings and emotions through dance.
So I perform Bharatanatyam, which is a classical South Indian dance, and it's to show our devotion to whichever god we are depicting in that specific dance.
The dance style that I am performing today depicts a story, and that story is about Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva forms a third of the Holy Trinity with Brahma and Vishnu, which is the trinity of gods in Hinduism. So Lord Shiva starts off by going into battle, and as the story progresses, he comes out of the battle. However, the Shakti, so Shakti is Shiva's consort. She comes into the story, and then they have like a playful fight or dance-off, if you would call it, between Shiva and Shakti. The significance of the battle between them is that in our daily lives there's always a gender difference and stuff like that. So the dance shows us that we can also have respect for the other gender, and it shows that the genders both have their differences, but they compromise and they make it work and they complement each other.
Now this Indian art form is the Indian identity which stretches to thousands of years. The original of Bharatanatyam is called Desanatyam, dance of the country.
I think spirituality and culture go hand in hand, because with that we are teaching our students to remain grounded, to have humility in the arts, because anyone can have a talent, but talent without humility, for me personally, amounts to very little or nothing.
Some of the important lessons that they learn is definitely discipline. Responsibility is definitely one. You know, just being on time for dance lessons, being at rehearsals, practicing. I think that really helps them with their lifestyle.
Dancing has taught me that there's a whole new side of spirituality that I never knew existed. It's almost like a holistic health that I've been pursuing, and dancing provides that.
Culturally and spiritually, it's helped me because it's taught me many learning lessons, some of them being respect, discipline, devotion. Those are some of the things that it has taught me.
Albert Einstein actually said that dancers are the athletes of God. And for me, that purely means bhakti, and bhakti is devotion. Because it's a focused art form and it's a disciplined art form, so you are conditioning your mind. So you must have that connection to God, and you must have that connection to the love of dance so that it will come through when you dance.
This is my identity.
It is important to preserve the authenticity of our cultures, and such stories are proof that future generations will continue to experience the beauty of religious practices. Thank you to the Natya Anjali Dance School for sharing this culturally enriching showcase with us. Sixolele ukuba nicinga ntoni ngondwendwe lwethu lwanamhlanje nemali lethu ngokusibhalela ku-identitytvshow@gmail.com. Ungadibana nathi kwakhona ku-Facebook, ku-Twitter na ku-Instagram. Funa nje wena u-Identity TV Show. It's time to take another short break. Don't go anywhere, because in our What's Appening segment, we will be reviewing a must-have app and a must-see movie. See you in a moment.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
You're watching Mzansi's hottest multi-faith youth show, Identity, with me, Viwe Kwala. Thank you for staying with us. Siqale inkqubo nosomashishini ongaqhelekanga osivule amehlo uSifiso Ngobese. Sabona nobuhle bomdaniso bamandiya kwibali lethu lanamhlanje. Ngoku lixesha lokuyobona i-media reviews zethu. Nanku what's happening. Happiness is an essential part of a happy lifestyle, but with modern-day pressures of life, it's not always easy to attain. Today's app will help you develop a habit of positive thinking so you can become a happier person. It's called Happify. The Happify app offers a set of fun games and activities to help you develop habits that will lead you to a better life. The activities are organized into tracks that you focus on each week. From the homepage, select a track based on the emotions that you want to work on. Read through the instructions and then start. Select the sunshine icon for a list of activities on topics such as savor, give, and empathize. Each tab opens up a game or activity to help you work on different skills. Once you have completed an activity, rate how it made you feel, and then Happify it. Need a mood boost? Select the rainbow icon for a list of articles ranging from self-help guides to feel-good stories from all across the world. Click on the Happify Daily tab at the top of the screen for a drop-down menu and then select a topic of your choice. If you want to learn how to cope better with stress, conquer negative thoughts, or develop a habit of happiness, then get yourself the Happify app today. When life throws us curveballs, sometimes we make unlikely connections with people who help bring clarity to the challenges we are facing. Today's movie review tells of one such story. It's called Where Hope Grows.
I think there's somebody here tonight who deserves just a little bit of recognition. It's not because he's a regular here at Stevie Ray's, or even because he was a Detroit Tiger, simply because it's his birthday. Give it up for Calvin Campbell.
When professional baseball player Calvin Campbell's career is cut short, his life goes on a downward spiral. He turns to alcohol to try and cope with his personal struggles, a decision which only makes things worse for him and creates a wedge between him and his teenage daughter.
How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Even when I'm doing bad, I'm doing good. Have a magnificent day.
When Calvin strikes up an unlikely friendship with Produce, a young man with Down syndrome, he starts to question his life choices. But is it too late for him to find restoration? Starring Christopher Polaha and David DeSanctis, Where Hope Grows tells a story of courage and finding redemption through faith, hope, and love.
And you realize he's just like you and me.
Did you know that the month of October is also Mental Health Awareness Month? The aim is to educate the public about mental health, as well as to reduce the stigma associated with mental disabilities. Mental disorders vary in severity, and it is important to get clued up on some of the causes, effects, and treatment options of the various types. It's now time to wrap up today's episode of Identity. Thank you for hanging out with us for the past 30 minutes. It's been a pleasure being in your company. Remember to keep in touch with us via our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram profiles. Simply search for Identity TV Show. You can also send an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. Ukuvala inkqubo yethu namhlanje siniphathela intsha ephakamisa ilokishi yaseNtshona Koloni igugulethu. Nansi iDreamanscap nengoma yabo ebizwa Izulu Lami. Kum uvuwe Gqwala neqela le-Identity kude kube yiveki elandelayo.